Dear students, welcome to the problem solving session part 2 on discrete random variable. In the first two videos, we are dealing with how to solve problems on discrete random variable, what are all the different kinds of questions can be asked in DRV. And in the second video, we solved two problems on discrete random variable. In today's session, we are going to solve some new problems on discrete random variable. As usual, for a given discrete random variable, we have to find the unknown A and some inequalities CDF. And in addition, in this problem, we need to find the maximum value of C such that it should be less than 3/4. And then similarly, we have to find the minimum value. Next, we have to solve the conditional probability for this given problem. Let us solve one by one. Before going to the problem, now we can see here the unknowns are not linear. We have 7a square plus a. So we have to handle this problem with a care. As usual, first determine a. We know the sum of probability is always 1. So add all the probabilities. Now we have a square terms. So segregate a square and a term separately, and then adding it we get 10a square plus 9a minus 1 equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation. So we are going to solve this to get two roots. The best method to solve this quadratic or cubic equation is use your calculator. Now press shift plus mod in your calculator to remove all garbage memory or unwanted thing. Now press 3 and then press equal to so that it will reset all. After doing this, press mod for 3 times. We can see this display. I am going to choose the equation. For this, press 1. When you press 1, it will show unknowns. We are not solving unknowns. We have to solve the equation. So just press right button in your calculator. It will show degree 2 or 3. See, our equation is 10a square. So the degree is going to be 2. So press 2. Once you press 2, it will start asking like this. Go to the equation 10a square plus 9a minus 1 equal to 0. According to the calculator, it is calculated like a x square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Or you can take a lambda square plus b lambda plus c equal to 0. For our convenience, we are keeping this notation either x square or x or lambda, whatever it is. For calculator, we need to enter the coefficient of square term, the coefficient of term with power 1 and constant. So now according to the problem, the coefficient of lambda square is going to be 10. So we enter a as 10 and then it will ask b. Now see the b value, it is going to be 9. So put b equal to 9 and then press equal to. It will ask c value is minus 1. So enter minus 1 in the calculator and press equal to. It will give the solution x1 is equal to 0.1. I can easily write this as 1 by 10. But some situations you may get like x equal to 0.65 or 0.432, something like that. If you want to express in fractions, go to your calculator. You can press shift plus this button ABC, which convert the decimal into fraction. So it will not display like 1 by 10. The display will be like this. The meaning of this is 1 by 10. If it shows like this, the answer is 3 by 5. So now when you press shift plus ABC, it will give like 1 divided by 10. So my first root is 1 by 10. Now when you press equal to again, you'll get the second root minus 1. Therefore, my roots are going to be 1 by 10 and minus 1. Now we can solve the same quadratic equation through factorization if you don't like calculator. Then split this. We have 10a square, 9a minus 1. I can write this as 10a square plus 10a minus a. 9a can be written as 10a minus a minus 1 equal to 0. And then take 10a outside from this two datas. We get 10a into a plus 1 and take minus outside. We get minus into a plus 1. Now simplifying this, we get a equal to minus 1 and a equal to 1 by 10. Or you can use the quadratic formula also. We know this formula. From this we have to enter ABC. Here according to the problem, a is 10, b is 9, c is minus 1. Just don't confuse with this notation a. Here a is unknown given in the question. It may be k, it may be lambda, it may be anything. Substituting and simplifying, we get a equal to minus 1 and a equal to 1 by 10. Choose whatever you like. Now we have two solutions, minus 1 and 1 by 10. Which solution I should take? Obviously, probability lies between 0 to 1. If I substitute the negative value, all my probabilities will be negative, which is not possible. Therefore, the only option is A equal to 1 by 10. So we found the A as 1 by 10. Next, as usual, whenever the problem is given with CDF, complete the CDF first. But this time, I'm not going to do the CDF directly because it involves square term. So let us write the probability distribution in terms of fractions. From this, I will find the CDF. So I'm going to substitute A equal to 1 by 10 in all the values. By substituting, we can easily get these values. A square is going to be 1 by 100. 2A square is going to be 2 by 100. 7A square, I will write 7 by 100 plus A is 1 by 10. So better what we can do, we can multiply and divide by 10. So we can write this as 17 by 100 for simplicity. Now let us begin the CDF. You know what is CDF? CDF properties. It is always lying between 0 to 1. Now first we have to take this data as it is. It's going to be 0. Now add this 2 data and write the CDF. So it is going to be 1 by 10. 1 by 10 plus 2 by 10, 3 by 10. 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 3, 8. Next, we have to add this 2. Instead of taking 8 by 10, I'm going to take this as 80 by 100. And then if I add this 1 by 100, easily I will get 81 by 100. Now add this 2, we get 83 by 100. And finally 83 plus 17 is going to be 100. 100 by 100 is always 1. So you can see the content very easily. So now we have to write from the table, one can easily find the cumulative distribution function. Next we are going to solve the max min content given in the problem. Once you finish the CDF, one can easily find the max min problems. Find the maximum value of C such that probability of X less than or equal to C should be less than 3 by 4. So less than 3 by 4 means less than 0.75. Now let us take each X value. When X equal to 0, f of 0 is 0. So it is less than 0.75. F of 1 is 0.5 less than 0.75. F of 2 is also less than 0.75. F of 3.5 that is less than 0.75. When you go for f of 4, we have 0.8 that is greater than 0.75. Similarly, 0.81 in the next term and then 0.83. Finally 1. These 4 datas are greater than 0.75. These 4 datas are with less than 0.75. Out of this, it is very easy to see 3 is the maximum value. Therefore, C equal to 3. In the similar way, one can find the minimum value of C also for a given condition like this. So I just left that for your practice. Next, these things are very obvious. You know how to do it. Let us do one by one. So P of X less than 6. So in a classical way, just you add all the thing and then you take LCM and you get the answer, that is 81 by 100. Or if you think that these values are bigger, then you can use either complement technique, that is P of X less than 6. I can rewrite this as 1 minus probability of X greater than or equal to 6. So it is nothing but 1 minus 2 by 100 plus 17 by 100. So it is going to be 1 minus 19 by 100, that is 81 by 100. Or you can use CDF. You take the CDF table. Now it is easy to see P of X less than 6 is equal to P of X less than or equal to 5. What is P of X less than or equal to 5? It is f of 5, because we know the CDF formula. F of X is equal to probability of X less than or equal to X. Therefore, my f of 5 is 81 by 100. In the exam point of view, we have to mention that from the table we get P of X less than 6 is equal to 81 by 100. So whichever method is suitable to you, you can choose. All are correct. Next, probability of X lies between 6 and 3 including 3. So we can easily figure it out and then we can find the solution. Add it, take the LCM and you get the answer 51 by 100. Next, if we get problems like 2x plus 3 less than 7, etc., don't get panic. Just take the content 2x plus 3 less than 7. I just need x alone. So 2x less than 7 minus 3. It is going to be 2x less than 4 and x less than 2. Therefore, it is simply probability of x less than 2 and we have 0 and 1 by 10. Just add it and get the answer. Next, we have to deal with conditional probability. I have clearly mentioned probability of A bar B is equal to probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. Probability of A bar B means probability of A is going to occur provided B is already occurred. So now just write the formula and then write the corresponding A and B. A is x greater than 1 and B is x less than 3, and A intersection B is x greater than 1 intersection x less than 3. Now we have to find A intersection B. It is obvious it is going to be simply x equal to 2. But sometimes student will stuck in finding the solutions. That time we use the real axis. You take the x axis, x greater than 1 you can easily view because our table has up to 7, so I'm taking up to 7 points. X greater than 1 is nothing but data is including 2 to 7. Then x less than 3 is data including 0 to 2. Now it is very easy. The only common data between these two contents are 2. So I can easily choose that x equal to 2 is common between them. Hope you understand. Now we know probability of A intersection B, that is x equal to 2. So probability of x equal to 2 is 2A, and then probability of B which we choose is probability of x less than 3. So less than 3 means we have to include 0, 1 and 2. So my answer is going to be 3A. Now easily we get probability of A bar B, that is probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. Probability of A intersection B is 2A and probability of B is 3A, and we can write this as 2 by 3. So the answer is 2 by 3. In the similar way we can solve the next conditional probability. Now see A, x lies between 1.5 and 4.5. Sometimes student get misunderstand that 3 by 2 and 9 by 2 are decimals. It is not in my table. That's why it is given x lies between 3 by 2 to 9 by 2, not including both the values. So the values lies between 1.5. The values lies between 1.5 and 4.5 are simply 2, 3 and 4. Next, x greater than 2. So it includes from 3 to 7. Now we can see 3 and 4 are common for both the contents. So I can say A intersection B is x equal to 3, 4. Now it is time to find the solution. So probability of A intersection B is nothing but either we get x equal to 3 or we get x equal to 4. It is nothing but 2 by 10 plus 3 by 10. It is going to be 5 by 10. In the case of denominator we have x greater than 2. So it is little big. So what I am writing, I use complement technique to write probability of x less than or equal to 2. So we used to take the values 2, 1, 0 because it is less than or equal to 2. So 1 minus 0 plus 1 by 10 plus 2 by 10. So we get 1 minus 3 by 10. The answer is 7 by 10. Now finally probability of A bar B is equal to 5 by 10 divided by 7 by 10, that is 5 by 7. Since this problem consists of the quadratic term A square and all, I am substituting the value of P of x and then I am simplifying. So you should be careful, whichever it is suitable for you, you have to do in the exam. So just we have to remember, if my constants are linear, I don't want to substitute the value for all kind of problems. Simplify it, finally we can substitute. But in this problem I have a trouble like 7a square plus a etc. So better we can take the substituted value of probability of x and then we can proceed. But in the previous case we are just dealing with 0a 2a. That is the reason I just take like this. Or you can take the probability table with values.
Thanks for watching. Hope you found this video helpful. Subscribe to our channel and share it to your friends. See you in the next video. Bye bye.